Oh, good evening, all the precious children of Jesus and all the beautiful sweet lambs of Jesus out there. I hope you're doing all doing well tonight, and hope all you little ones had a good day at school. And tonight, for tonight's bedtime story, I'm going to read you a story that I wrote about Armadillo and Panda Bear. It's about Pam the panda bear, Andy the armadillo, and Phoebe the duck-billed platypus. Deep in the woods and grassland, a zootopia was being built. A zootopia, for anyone that doesn't know, is like a zoo, and it's an open zoo, and, where the animals can run free. The animals could all roam free, and the baby orphans were brought to this zootopia from all around the world to be loved and cared for. All the baby animals were treated so well, but they grew, and sometimes hostile personalities grew within them. In the zootopia, there was Pam a panda bear, duck-billed platypus, and Phoebe the duck-billed platypus, and Andy the armadillo. They live near each other, and there's also lots of other animals there too, but this story is specifically about them. One early morning, Andy was making such a loud noise, digging with his feet to build a burrow near the river. And he was boasting, "I am the best creature in this zootopia. I can move faster and dig deeper and better than anyone else." Pam complained, "Keep the noise down. Can't you see I'm trying to take a nap? Please leave. I want to be left alone." Phoebe, the duck-billed platypus, lifted her head from out of the river. She had just been hunting for fish. With her eyes, ears and nose closed, using her bill to detect and find and catch prey called electroreception. Andy gave off the biggest mocking laugh, teasing Phoebe. "Look at your weird beak and tail. You were never meant mount to anything in life. You even have ugly webbed feet to help you swim, and you can't even dig without your webbed feet, unless you fold your webbed feet back, and you can only walk on your knuckles." He laughed. Phoebe looked down sadly. "All you say is right. I am so insignificant. I can't even swim straight without having to use my tail as a rudder to swim in the right direction." Pam, noticing Phoebe's insecurities and Andy's ego, spoke gently as she stuffed her face with bamboo. "Don't let anyone put you down, my dear. Focus on your strength. The Creator made us all unique and with significant Look at the way you care for your young. You use your tail to make a nest and keep your eggs safe and warm. You show your eggs such love, as you know one day that these eggs will hatch and you will receive the greatest gift of all, your children. You will love them tenderly, and love is the greatest gift of all. You have much to offer when you have love in your heart, so don't feel bad." With that, Phoebe smiled and blushed. Andy argued, "I feel I am more talented." and more well equipped to handle life's encounters than Phoebe is. Let's put it to a test. We will walk over the borders of the Zootopia and see who can survive the longest without the protection of the zookeepers. I don't want to, replied Phoebe, but if you are going to leave me alone, then I must. If you're not going to, and if you're going to keep on about it, then I have to. Andy grinned to relieve all of his molar teeth. Pam tried to discourage them from going. She cried, "Please stay, there are many unknown dangers out there. You are most likely to be injured, or in a worst case scenario, killed. There are many vicious wild beasts out there." However, Andy and Phoebe ignored Pam's advice and just walked away and past the safety of the Zootopia into the wilderness beyond. As Pam watched nervously on, their first encounter came when they passed the overgrown, full of sharp thorns and prickles, the nasty thorns and brambles and weeds just over the fence. Poor Phoebe cried as she got herself stung from the brambles and scratched by the thorns. However, Andy was not scratched or stung because he had his armour on protecting him. Although Andy was compassionate enough to rescue Phoebe from out of the nasty thorns and brambles and to soothe Phoebe's stings and scratches using dock leaves, he still boasted, "There you go, that is test number 1. To prove I am better at you than you at to survive the world than you. For I did not get one little sting or scratch on me, and I rescued you also from being rescued you from being harmed further." Phoebe just looked at Andy, feeling frustrated and sad and helpless. Andy boasted, "Now, for the second test, I am taking you to the river. Firstly, I want you to see who can jump vertically up some rocks." So they walked further down to reach the rocks around the river. Phoebe just tried to jump in and strain herself, but it was no use. She couldn't jump. When Andy tried, he jumped 4 feet vertically up the rocks. He laughed, hysterically mocking Phoebe. "There you go. I don't need you, because you have no significance at all," he said. Phoebe was starting to feel very angry, and she snapped, "Right, let's see who can stay under the water the longest." With that, Andy sniggered, "Yes, let's get to this challenge too, because I know I can beat you on this one too." With that, Phoebe closed her nose, eyes and ears and dived deeply into the river. She swam among the fish, scaring them all away as she swam past them. She surfaced again after 2 minutes and walked back to the riverbed to join Andy, who just looked on at her with a mocking stare. He walked to the river's edge and started walking into the water, eventually disappearing into the water. Andy was gone under the water for ages. Even after 3 minutes, still no sign of him. And by that time, Phoebe had become very worried about him. Phoebe walked up and down the riverbank, but just could not see him anywhere. He was nowhere to be in sight. After 6 minutes, Andy came walking out of the river onto its banks next to Phoebe. Again he belittled Phoebe, and by that time poor Phoebe felt totally unworthy. "We might as well go home. I won," boasted Andy. "You are no good." They both directed home, with Phoebe sulking unhappily. Suddenly a group of hyenas came out from hiding behind the rocks. They circled around Andy and Phoebe, sniffing them, leaving Phoebe and Andy petrified. Andy rolled up in a ball to protect himself, and all but one very nasty hyena just sniffed them and walked on. The one hyena left standing started growling and showing his sharp teeth, snapping, "I'm gonna rip you both to shreds." The hyena was just about to try and break his teeth into Andy's protective armour when Phoebe released the venom from her spurs hidden in her ankles and struck it out to the evil hyena. With that, the hyena ran off afraid, and the life of Andy and Phoebe had been saved. Andy thanked Phoebe for saving his life, and from that moment on, they had decided to become great friends, and never again did Andy look down on Phoebe or any other creature in Utopia ever again. Andy repented of his ego, and instead of putting others down, he built up their confidence, and all the animals taught each other humbly of their gifts and talents as they lived side by side. And she and Phoebe had her little eggs, her little children, and they were born to her, and they were all cute little children that she loved and she adored and she took care of. And as for Pam, she also found her solitude among her favourite tree that overlooked the riverside. Thought each and every person is significant and has a purpose and something that they can bring into the family of God. 1 Corinthians 12:25. Now you are the body of Christ, and each of you are a part of it. I hope you are blessed, and I hope you have a lovely night, and God bless you, sweet children out there. Sleep well and sweet dreams of heaven. God bless you.